It was a science lesson during my GCSEs where we were learning about the Haber process. The teacher split the class into 4 groups and gave each group a particular part of the cycle to research and understand in 15 minutes using the textbooks and handouts she had prepared. The teacher knew that the particular part that my group was given to research was a bit more complex than the other bits, so she provided my group with a little extra information. When the 15 minutes were up, 4 new groups were formed, which consisted of 1 person from each of the original groups. We were then given a further 20 minutes to teach our peers the part of the Haber process that we had each researched. We were not allowed to communicate with our original team members to clarify anything, so we had to make sure we completely understood our part of the cycle so that we could effectively explain it to our new group. In this lesson, the teacher hardly spoke and just went round the different groups to make sure that everybody had the right understanding by using questions to make us think. Towards the end of the lesson, the teacher went through all the parts of the process to ensure the right information had been passed on to the whole class from each of the groups. One of the key messages from this experience is that peer learning can be very effective, especially when students are left to construct knowledge for themselves. The concept of peer learning was definitely implemented in this lesson, which proved to be a success. When somebody is given the responsibility to teach someone else, they absorb more than if they were to learn just for themselves. This is because the responsibility is far greater. This learning experience worked because every member of the class had a responsibility to pass on knowledge, which made each class member choose to learn their part thoroughly, as learning depended on the input of everybody. Another significant message from this experience is that the role of the teacher is of a navigator, who ensures that students are steering their learning in the right direction according to the lesson objective. During this lesson, the teacher nudged the pupils subtly by questioning them about their understandings to ensure they included and passed on the correct information. Another key message is that for a successful learning experience, the teacher must not only have good subject knowledge, which she demonstrated by knowing which part may be more complex to understand, but also know how to effectively deliver this knowledge in a way that will work. Guy Claxton's ideas support this learning experience because he believes that collaboration between peers is key to learning. Claxton states that the role of the teacher is as an orchestrator, who selects the resources, arranges the groups, and sets targets, which is exactly what my teacher did. Elliot Aronson also supports the idea that education is an active and constructive process, whereby the activity makes students dependent on each other to succeed. This lesson is an example of Aronson's jigsaw method of teaching, whereby students had to collaborate in order to piece together the information they needed. Schulman is another theorist who supports the idea that teachers should not only have good subject knowledge, but also know how to deliver it effectively, a concept he calls pedagogical content knowledge. I believe that this kind of learning is very effective because it encourages learners to be active and take responsibility for their own learning.
Created using Powtoon.